Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the RAVEMEN FR300 GPS front bike light. While there are a lot of headlights on the market, the RAVEMEN FR lights have been a unique design that sandwiches between computers and mounts. In this review, we're going to be looking at the latest version, the RAVEMEN FR300, which offers brighter output and longer run times compared to the existing FR160. In terms of packaging, you can see very simple, nice cardboard box, orange and black color scheme, which matches a lot of RAVEMEN branding. And then the light is actually mounted right in front with this big cutout so you can actually see it and interact with it. Specs are printed on the back as well as additional information on the sides. I'll go ahead and pull this out of the box and we'll go over the full specs. So retail price on this is $49.95, so pretty affordable. This is the bigger version, and as the name implies, it is a 300 lumen light, so pretty bright. It has a 1200 milliamp battery that's rechargeable via USB-C, and you can even use this to charge other devices, which is a kind of cool feature. It has both Garmin and Wahoo mount options. So you have a Garmin on the top and bottom, and that can be swapped out for the Wahoo adapter that's included. You get a really nice wide COB LED lens, so you can see it wraps around and ensures you're visible from almost any angle. It also has a auto on and off feature that's optionally available, so you can hold the button to turn it on and off. And this will allow it to use a vibration sensor to automatically turn off after 2 minutes and go into a standby mode, and then turn on again when you start moving. In terms of what you get, you can see quite a bit. You get the tether attached to the actual light, the light with the Garmin mounts pre-installed. You get a couple charging cables, so a USB to type USB-C, and you can actually use this to charge another device. You can just plug this here and plug this to your computer. They also include a USB-C to a micro USB cable, which is nice. You get the little warranty card and then the product manual, as well as the Garmin or the Wahoo adapter. So you can see 2 pieces here with the hardware to swap them out. Now let's take a look at the weight of the FR300. So the FR300 by itself, that comes out to 73 grams. The RAVEMEN FR300 has a unique combo light and mount design that has a Garmin or Wahoo attachment on both the bottom and top surface. This lets you place the FR300 right between your mount and then a GPS computer or another larger light if you needed that. With the FR300, it's actually bigger and brighter than the FR160, with almost double the output and larger dimensions. This has a 1200 milliamp battery on the inside, which lets the light have more output and then longer runtime. Dimensionally, it's now 82 by 60 by 25.5 millimeters, which means you need a bit of a larger GPS to actually hide this, as it is quite large. Branding on this is limited to just RAVEMEN and FR300 printed here, and you can see it's kind of glossy, so it doesn't really pop, and it's actually covered by your computer. So pretty sleek overall appearance. With the mounting design on this, it's really cool. So you actually have a Garmin mount on the bottom and the top, and you can actually swap this out for the Wahoo variation. And this lets you put a computer on the top, mount on here, or just put this on the bottom of your out front mount. So a lot of options here, and it's a great be seen style light. For heavier lights, we would recommend using your tether, just in case this mount were to fail, as that was a problem with some of the fabric Lumen lights, which is one of the original versions of this style light. Otherwise, it does feel well constructed, and you can see just a plastic construction, semi-glossy appearance, and the whole thing is waterproof, so you can use this in any weather conditions as long as that cover is closed. And you can see here we actually have a USB Type-C port, so if you pull this rubber cover over, you can see you have a nice well-protected port, and you can use this to charge a GPS device. But RAVEMEN does warn not to use this with a cell phone to charge your cell phone, as it may damage the light and will void the warranty. So you do want to be careful with that. Just use it for your computer as a potential backup. The coolest thing about this light is the fact that you have the wide wraparound LED. So it's a COB LED design. So you see when you look at it, it looks really nice and uniform. And you can see it's actually a little bit brighter on the front and then smaller LEDs on the side. So it's a pretty cool design. You have a bunch of modes. A single click will cycle through it. And you have great side visibility, so you can see even from side angles, you can still see the light as it wraps around. Again, single press will go through constant modes, a couple flash options, with the brightest flash being a daytime flash in the 300 lumen output. This is a B-scene style light, so don't try to ride with this as your only light if you're on dark trails. You can see it just creates a glow. There's no real focus here. Instead, it has a nice wide beam, and it's designed to keep you visible, not necessarily illuminate the road. It will illuminate the road right in front of your bike, but it doesn't have a really sharp focused beam anywhere else. So again, use this in conjunction with other headlights, or for urban riding, or just for daytime visibility. They've also moved the button to the side, which is really cool. And you can see it's backlit. So if I turn it off, press it again, you can see there's a color. Green indicates 40 to 100%. Red would indicate 5 to 40. And then flashing red indicates 5% or less. So it is a pretty coarse battery status, but it's good to have something instead of just low and high. And you can see now that it's on the side, really easy to access, and the USB port in the back. You also have that additional tether spot for tethering this entire thing if your actual mount were to fail. So it's pretty unique, but again, a little bit bigger. And you can see they've kind of beveled the edges to disguise the size. The user interface on it is really simple though. It's just single presses to go through the different mode options. There's 6 different modes. You have 3 constants and then 3 flash modes. Some of them are a little hard to tell apart. And you don't really need the high, medium, low. As again, this is a B-scene style light, so if anything, I would just use low and forget about the high, medium. You can see in all the modes, all the LEDs are illuminated together. So unlike Knog or other brands, they use really cool patterns, like a almost Knight Rider back and forward kind of scanner approach. They don't really have that here. It would have been nice to see, but instead it's just a uniform illumination. And you can see nice and bright, but again, B-scene style light only. They also have a auto on and off feature. So if you turn off the light and then you hold this power button for 3 seconds, you'll see it flash. So you see now the mode is on. And with this one, it has a actual accelerometer in here. So if it detects vibration, what it'll do is actually turn it on or off. So if you leave it here and then were to come back in 2 minutes, it would turn off. And then when you nudge it, it would turn back on. Here you can see it's turned off, and then if I vibrate it or if it senses movement, you can see it turns back on. So pretty convenient feature, especially your commuter, but you still want to power it off completely to avoid the battery drain of the standby mode. Now let's take a look at the output modes of the light. There's 6 different modes to choose from. You have high, medium, low. You can see there's about a 50% drop in lumen between the different modes. Realistically, it doesn't matter as they're all the same nice glow, so I would just stick to low. Daytime flash is really the best one, 300 lumens at 9 hours. You also have a fast flash, which is 100 lumens at 12.5 hours. And then the most economical one, slow flash, which is 100 lumens at up to 24 hours. Here you can see the light installed on our bike, and you can see it's very sleek. Fits right between your out front mount and the GPS computer. You can even put a bigger light above it or combine this on the bottom of your out front mount. So very versatile, and because it's so thin, it's nice and sleek, so you don't notice it's really there. It also is daytime visible with that nice wide COB LED lens. So here you can see the daytime shot, and you can see even from a distance it's visible. So really nice light that keeps you visible during the day and just gives you a little bit of extra illumination. Now let's compare the FR300 with other lights on the market. We actually have the other RAVEMEN FR160. So you can see smaller body. This one had the power button on the rear, which was less convenient. And you can see the whole thing is a little bit smaller. So if I put them right on top of each other, you can see just a little bit smaller in terms of dimensions, a little bit thinner, less output, but same mount design. But you can see this one is actually a little bit more offset too. So rather than being flush, they pushed it out, which helps with the compatibility with other products. So now with this taller one, you can see you could take other lights and simply put them on top and have a little bit more of a gap. Now, the feature I would have liked to see RAVEMEN include is more unique LED design. So here we have the Knog Frog. So you can see COB LED, but instead of just illuminating them all together, like they do here with the RAVEMEN, they actually have really cool patterns. So you have sparkles left to right, and even the Knight Rider style back and forth, which would have been nice to see here and adds a little bit more flair. You can see the frog is a lot smaller. You don't get the dual mount design. What I really like about this design is it works perfectly with out front mounts. You can put a GoPro on the bottom, you can put this right on top, and then put your computer on top of that. and have daytime visibility without a big bulky light. If you want additional visibility though, again, you want a brighter light. This is the Blinder Road 400, so you can see pretty small form factor, but again, more of a traditional light with focused LEDs that'll actually illuminate the road rather than just providing a little glow, so you can see that difference here. And there's also a lot of other compact lights you can choose from. There's the Bontrager Ion RT. You can see the flare match the pairing of it to the taillight headlight. Magicshine has a similar CME 100 and 150 series. And then again, if you want brighter lights, something like the Evo 1300 is a nice option. It has a top mount, so you can put it underneath your out front mount. You can put this above it, and then put your computer on top of that. And you'd have nighttime visibility, daytime visibility, and your computer all in one. Now let's go over the pros and cons of the FR300. What I like about it is you have daytime visibility with full 300 lumens. You're visible from quite a distance away. You also have a nice wide COB LED lens, which makes you visible from just about any angle. Also with the dual-sided mount, you can combine this with just about any other device. Put this on the bottom, in between a GPS computer, put a light on top. So very versatile. The main negatives with this light is the fact that there are too many modes. You don't really need the 3 constant modes, as this is really a B-scene light. It does not illuminate the road. Also, we would like to see RAVEMEN include some more creative illumination patterns, like do a side-to-side animation, or more creative options that don't just illuminate the entire thing together. Taking everything into account, we give the light a 9.0 out of 10. It's a clever dual-sided mounting light that gives you daytime visibility with a very sleek form factor. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist, reminding you to enjoy the ride.